I'm going to show you how I put together this Chinese New Year lantern using just some simple materials. Once you've colored the design, then go ahead and cut off the top, and it's about 1 inch here, and it's on the gray pattern line if you use my patterns from Teacher Pay Teacher. So it's right on the gray line here. We cut the top off, and then we're going to cut a thin strip at the bottom, which is right on the word line here, and it's approximately 1/4 inch. So we just slice 1/4 inch off the bottom here. And then we're going to be using both of these pieces. So we're going to save this top for our handle, and now we're going to use the red construction paper. Now this white paper is a standard 8.5 by 11 copy paper. The red paper is a 9 by 11 sheet of construction paper. And if you use, for copy paper, a heavyweight paper or a cardstock, it's a little bit sturdier than thin copy paper. Now I'm going to put together the lantern, and I'm using this example here for the rabbit. And what you want to do after you've cut off your pieces, the next step is to go ahead and trim the red paper. So I'm going to save my title for later, right here. And then I'm going to just discard the strip that I cut off at the bottom of the printed paper. Next step is to line up the copy paper with the construction paper. And this is the next piece that we're going to cut off. So we're just going to go ahead and trim off this edge right here. And then we're going to discard this because we don't need that strip. So I'm going to just put this aside. Now we're going to take the large red paper, and I'm going to fold it in half. And I just brought the longest side up to the top, matching them, and just crease down the middle. Now, if you take the title page and just put it on here as a reference, and we trace, we're just going to trace down here on the edge, and this will be just a guideline for when we have to cut. So I'm just going to measure this, and it's approximately 1 inch wide, so if you want to just take a ruler, you can do it with a ruler. Now I'm going to open this up. You see how it forms a tent? I'm just going to reverse this fold here. So I'm folding it front and back. Now I'm going to have this line be my cut guide. And I'm going to make from the fold, so if I show you here, this is my fold. It's going to be closer to my stomach. And here's my guideline. I'm just going to simply cut 1 finger's width from the edge up to the line. So I'm measuring 1 finger over. And if you want to measure 1 finger over and mark it, you can. I like to just estimate because then I don't have these marks on my paper. But I'm just going to cut 1 finger over up to the line, and I'm going to stop right at the line. Let me show you up there close up. See? And stop right at the line. You don't want to cut past it. And double check the first cut. Make sure it's on your fold. You want to have it on the fold so it looks like this. Now I'm just going to cut through the whole thing. 1 finger up, and it's approximately 1/2 inch up. But if you have very few lines on your paper, it's better. So just measure 1/2 inch up. And if you're a little bit off, if it's a little bit too thin, that's okay. You just don't want it to be really wide because it'll block the view of your image. So 1 up. Again, right, you have to stop right at the line. So go slow and then cut to the line. And I'm doing it in red. Red is a symbol, the color of good luck. But you could do any color on the outside of your lantern. I like to keep it with some traditional Chinese colors for the new year. Right there. Now, if you fold this, this will help you a little bit first. So when I open it up, it's going to have a fold that makes a tent. It's a tent fold, how these are sticking up. See how it kind of folds up. Now, what helps is if you take this now, and if I just fold this right here on this line, that kind of helps when I'm making my lantern. And I'm going to do the same here. I'm just going to bend this up and fold. Okay, so it kind of looks like this. So I'm going to take my copy paper and very thin glue. You don't want to have it a blob, okay? Real thin, because you're going to smear it with your finger. And then I'm going to just smear this in this space right here. And I'm going to stop at the blue line. I'm going to place the top now right here. Opening this up, this is going to be placed right here on the edge. Oops. So I open it up and just place it down. Now I'm going to do the same for this side. I'm going to slide this down and I'm going to do glue on this side. So I'm going to put a very thin bead of glue or a line of glue. Rub it in. And then I open this up, and this is going to line up right here. Pressing down. Now I'm just going to kind of push this with my hand. So it's curving, folded that way. And then I'm going to push this, creasing my folds. You just want to crease those folds, like so. Now, we're going to be forming a tube. So I'm just rolling this, like so. I'm going to be attaching both sides together. So you can lift up this side, right here, and just run a very thin line of glue. Again, rubbing in with your finger. And it's important to rub it in because then it makes it very thin. That way the paper will stick instantly and it won't pop off. Then I'm going to just bring the sides together. And this is going to come up to the blue line. So I'm taking this, bringing it right to the blue line on the side, on both sides. Then I'm going to press, and then I'm going to put these back. So this is going to overlap. Put a little dot of glue here, and again, rub it in so that the first one just overlaps so you don't see the seam. And then I'm going to shape it. You want to round it into a tube. And then you want to make sure that this is rounded into a tube as well. Okay? And there you have your lantern. You can see by folding it back and forth, it helps make the lantern stick out right here. Or you can come back in and just press the fold. You want that to crease down, pushing this downward, keeping your folds nice and crispy. That way you have a nice shape to the lantern. And so it kind of curves outward. You want to make it round The round open, by making it rounded, it opens up these spaces here. Now we're going to attach the handle. And so I like to trim the handle a little bit thinner. That's why I showed you here. It's partially cut off the top or the bottom. You just want the words to be centered in your handle. And sometimes, depending on how you print these, the words can become off, how your printer prints them. Sometimes the scale for printing is different. So I'm trimming it so that it's thin, and then I'm going to put a very small amount of glue and rub it in, and then just using the leftover right here. And then I'm going to attach it on each side. Inside, bring it to the other side, and inside. And just give it a little pinch, and then pinch, and then there you have your lantern. And then here is the dragon one, right here. And the rabbit. If you would like to find the worksheets that were used in this video, click on the title and it will take you to a link from my Teacher Pay Teacher store. My store is called the Art Ladies Store. And at this time, I'd like to thank all the patrons who support this channel. And if you would like to become a patron, just click on the Patreon link under the title as well. Hope you enjoy, and Happy New Year.